Friday edition of the Sharp Pick. I'm Jordan Sharp. The Week 8 lines are settling down a little bit. However, there is still a little bit of movement, and there are a lot of spreads this week that are just 1 point. So from there, let's dive right on in. A spread that's not just 1 point is the Packers and the Jaguars from Green Bay. That line jumped all the way up to minus 16.5, but has settled down to minus 14.5 right now, and it seems the value has been bet out of it. I mentioned yesterday that I did think this line was susceptible to taking the points with the Jaguars, as well as teasing up the points with the Jaguars. And at 14.5, I don't see it having much value, and I think you should probably lay off of it. The first, however, of those aforementioned 1 point lines is the Dolphins traveling into New York this weekend to face off against the Jets. Now that line opened up at minus 2.5 in favor of the Jets. However, it has been bet down all the way to just a point. I have been on record as saying that I do like the Dolphins money line this week. The public is on the Jets, and I have no idea what they're thinking. I don't think home court, and anything is going to matter in this one. So I like the Dolphins. Seattle and Detroit has moved the exact same way as it opened at minus 2.5 in favor of the Lions. However, it is now down to minus 1 in favor of Detroit. Neither team's offense has been playing great this season. However, if it's a battle of defenses, Seattle is going to win that battle hands down. I love the Hawks' defense this season, and I think they are one of the better units in the league. So while I'm laying off personally, if I had to choose, I'd probably lean towards Seattle. The Chargers and Browns line has been a roller coaster all throughout the week. After opening at minus 3 in favor of the road Chargers, it got bet down all the way to minus 1. And then as I predicted earlier, it got bet right back up to that minus 2.5 and minus 3 level. I know I like the Chargers in this one. However, I'm not sure because of the early movement with the Browns. But still, I think there's value betting on the Chargers coming off the bye week. So if you do like them, I suggest you get them now. I'll start this one by saying that I could be completely and utterly wrong about this one, but the Falcons are in Philly this weekend, and after opening as just 1 point underdogs, now the Falcons are 3 point underdogs. I know the public is heavy on the Falcons, and I know I like the Falcons, but I think I might be getting fooled by the books, and it seems like they're accomplishing their mission. This one's really making my head spin, and I'm not sure what to think about it, but I do still like the Falcons taking the points. Washington and Pittsburgh have been bet and settled down to minus 4.5 in favor of the Steelers. You can read my full pick on this game in the NFL picks section, but in short, I came to the realization that this line is pretty sharp. These two teams don't play each other too much throughout the season, and even though they are pretty close geographically, in fact, they've only played 4 times in the last 15 years. But I do like the Steelers a little bit, especially if you can tease them down with another line down to plus 1.5, just to win. Finally, the Sunday night game is settled down to minus 6 in favor of the Denver Broncos, with the New Orleans Saints coming to town. Yes, high altitude does give the Broncos a slight advantage, but one of these days the Saints are going to figure it out and they're going to start playing better football, especially on defense, because it seems like their offense has already been pretty good. This game is certainly, almost certainly going to be a shootout, and that scares the crap out of me, so I'm sorry if I misled you with my long anecdote, but I think I'm laying off that one as well. That'll do it for the Friday edition. Make sure you check back tomorrow for my last daily blog update of Week 8, and until Week 9 on Monday, I'm Jordan Sharp for SBR Forum. This has been The Sharp Pick.